Oh, Hunter, did you think we would never find out? Hello everybody, it's Yuji again. Minakawa is still busy, and I've got some shit to share. But do not worry, he is working on other videos. First, a big, huge thank you to Mercedes for discovering this YouTube channel. It's led to some discoveries, and really, all I could say is, we were fucking right! Everyone, meet CasWarFoxs, a former furry YouTuber who made predator hunting videos. If you don't know what that specific genre of video is, they're videos where a YouTuber goes out, finds evidence of people being child molesters, zoophiles, or the like, and compiles all the evidence into a video and exposes the predator for being a predator. They generally also report these people to the police. LioConvoy comes to mind when I think of predator hunter YouTubers. Lio doesn't make predator hunting videos anymore, but he did at one point. There's a lot of people who make predator hunting content. CasWarFox stopped making videos a little over a year ago now because he got caught knowingly associating with sexual degenerates and for being one himself. You can go watch LioConvoys videos about CasWarFox if you want to learn more about that dude and his bullshit. He is not the focus of this video, so I don't care to go through all of the shit he's done. The reason I bring this channel up, well, in my last video I played some clips from an old video PirateFoxHunter made about Dreamer Studios that was damn near nonsensical and brought up a lot of random shit and a lot of random people. And, well...
For Trinaman's case, though, that doesn't seem to be the case at all. He's very much a meticulous and dangerous man. For Trinaman's case, though, that doesn't seem to be the case at all. He's very much a meticulous and dangerous man.
That's right, ladies, gentlemen, and those in between. This motherfucker stole audio from CasWarFox's videos and used that to make his own. We were fucking right, and those bastards tried so hard to say Hunter never stole audio. Ha! I can't say I'm surprised that PirateFoxHunter was stealing content from other YouTubers and clipping it together in a really bad attempt at exposing Dreamer Studios, me, Purple Spy, and everyone else that's not on their side. We had always suspected he was stealing audio from someone, but we never had any proof that he was doing so. Until now. Seriously, the people who defend Bailey are so fucking stupid! Stealing content from other YouTubers to try to make your own exposed video? That's two of Bailey's defenders that have done this. Timothy Gamer and PirateFoxHunter. Just need to find out if Brian and Jenkins are doing the same shit, which I personally think they are. Honestly, I'm almost 100% sure that at least Brian and Hunter are the same person using two different accounts. Mostly because their channels went down at the exact same time, and according to this neat little website I had found, both channels were made by somebody in Canada. There is no guarantee this is correct info, but the website I used to discover this seems pretty accurate. I checked both mine and Sarah's channels just to be sure. But I wouldn't be surprised if all of them were the same person using alt accounts to make it seem like Bailey has more people on her side. They all talk the same, they all have the same stupid fucking arguments, and either they're the same bitch, or they all just share one rotting brain cell. The video Hunter stole from is this video by CasWarFox, The Pedo Hunt, Pedo on the Run, which is a video about a man named Christopher John Trinaman. We know who Trinaman is now, everyone. My questions have been answered. Trinaman is a UK citizen and convicted child molester who used the internet to lure in two young girls, 13 and 14, and groomed them. The 14-year-old he groomed sadly took her life in 2010, and the 13-year-old was in therapy, and probably still is, honestly. Trinaman did get convicted and sentenced, but was released in 2015. After he was released, he fled to Vietnam and was performing in an orchestra before he was caught again and, I think, booted back into the UK. Oh, I also know who Fun and Review is, too. It's one of Cass's subscribers. I am so glad I'm getting answers to who these fucking people are. It was starting to drive me nuts. But let's compare Cass's video to Hunter's so we can see all the clips Hunter stole to make his video. And so you guys know I'm not just talking out of my ass, because unlike some people, I actually show evidence for the claims I make, and I don't just fucking yap. Actually, first, I want to take a look at Hunter's disclaimer he has at the start of his video, because it's fucking something, alright. Hem. Disclaimer. I do not condone harassment or death threats of anyone. This video is only about a warning for people like Dreamer Studios and Creative Misfits and their fans for forcing people to apologize or going after them when they never actually done anything wrong and already moved on from the past, especially changing their ways. I don't condone the harassment or death threats of anyone. Well, they haven't sent us death threats, but they've certainly harassed us. Also, we've never forced anyone to apologize. We said Bailey should, because it's the right thing to do for all the shitty things she's done. But we haven't forced anyone to do anything, you weirdo. And she did do something wrong. She did several things wrong. Are you saying that stealing art isn't wrong? Are you saying telling people to end their lives isn't wrong? Are you saying threatening people with death and physical violence because the person shipped something you don't isn't wrong? And moved on where? Even to this day, Bailey will still make posts. I hate you, Dreamer Studios, even though he hasn't talked about her in years. Hell, she just went to his channel to comment on his most recent post that's not even about her. This moved on bit gets me every time. It's not true, and it especially wasn't true when this video was originally made. It was made at like the start of the Bailey drama, and she was just not letting this go or owning up to her mistakes. She made several hundred posts about us on Facebook, DeviantArt, YouTube, TikTok. I think she even made some posts on fucking Twitter. It was insane. Otherwise, going after a person that you don't even move on over the years will result in your channel being hunted down by some people to prevent any of forcing of their actions to tell anyone to apologize, just to their friends back or begging for them to trust them, when it's already being solved on their actions. You want to move on from this drama, then stop whatever that you were doing to ruin people's life and move on. Don't either come back. No one will get hurt in this situation. Doing so every step of the year, non-stop, will result in you being reported to law enforcement and FBI. You have been warned. This will result in your channel being hunted down. Okay. None of you are scary. What are you gonna do? Call their mommies on us? You don't even have enough followers to send anyone after us. And the FBI and police aren't going to do anything about us hurting your fifis. If anything, making false reports to the FBI will get you in trouble. The FBI don't fuck around like that. It's actually a felony to make false reports to the FBI. So have fun with that if you actually want to try. Just so you know, it is 5 years in federal prison if you get convicted. God, 5 years without these morons sounds so nice. Also, not the Vegas fuck threat. For those who didn't pick up on it, it's this little bit right here. Don't either come back, no one will get hurt in this situation. He's basically saying if we stay gone, they won't have to hurt us. Which, God, at least take me out to dinner first. I'm just kidding. I don't date children. And quickly take back the they haven't sent us threats bit because I forgot about this part in the disclaimer. This disclaimer is stupid. It was stupid when the video came out. It's still stupid now. Hunter is just stupid. Alright, let's move on to comparing the two videos now. I will link CasWarFoxs' video in the comments and in the description, because I'm pretty sure I could do that now. You can watch the full thing yourself, and if you're worried about possibly financially supporting Cas by watching his video, I wouldn't worry too much. YouTube turns off your monetization after a year if you don't upload, so he's not making any money from his videos anymore. Not all of the stolen audio in Hunter's video is from Cas's Pedo on the Run video. It looks like Hunter stole audio from multiple of Cas's videos, but I do not have the energy to watch all of Cass's videos to try and find each individual clip Hunter took, because Cass has quite a few videos, and a lot of them are hours long. Alright, let's get this started.
Hello there, everyone. We're going to examine a giant rabbit hole that we discovered while reading into his stories and looking up certain names that have been mentioned. Because when we were looking into him, certain names have been mentioned in this particular series of his own. And when we examine them, we end up realizing that a good amount of them are actual real people with different backgrounds. And there's this weird shit going on when me and a bunch of people were examining where this guy came from. Now, obviously, I can't go through all of it. Not only that, because of the fact that unfortunately, the sad reality is that there's just all of this is still like accusations, and there's not a lot of concrete evidence for a lot of this stuff. But we found some really interesting shit on the guy, and basically we're going to not just laugh at his blogs, we're also going to examine some insane shit that he says and some things that we can cross dots on. So if you want to watch that, if you really are interested in that, then by all means, stick around for that tomorrow, 7 p.m. and Standard Pacific Time.
The first half of this video is audio from, I think, one of Cass's live streams. It's either that or from a video that doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't sound very scripted, and like Cass was just rambling about his thoughts, and he mentioned someone called E-Stories, or E-Stories. I can't tell what he's saying. I had the same issue with trying to figure out what he was saying when he said Trinaman and Fun Reviews. I don't know if that's a me problem, or if the way he talks just makes it hard to understand him, or if Hunter did something to the audio that's made it harder to understand. I don't know. But anyways, he talks about stories and going down a rabbit hole and looking into other people mentioned and reading this dude's blogs. I haven't been able to find out who Stories is. I've gone through as many of Cass's videos as I could to try and discover who Stories is, so I could find the original audio clips, but so far I've had no luck. If you want to go through Cass's accounts, he has a few different ones that he posted on, to try and find all the stolen audio clips that were used in this video, then be my guest. And please tell me what videos Hunter stole from. This is driving me insane.
So I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant, because you know what? I'm sick and tired of all these fucking people thinking that they're going to somehow silence me because they're going to flag my content, flag my shit. It obviously the whole 12-hour thing, whatever, it's 12 hours, not a big deal. It's not gonna stop me. But that's exactly what I'm gonna rant about, and I'm gonna say to these people, I don't fucking care how much you bitch and cry and do apologize that you're getting called out by some random faggoty fox on the internet. I don't fucking care. I don't care how many times that you wet your bed at night thinking about the scary fox coming after you. You deserve that fear. It's because you disgusting little shits know how much people like me scare you. You are very well aware the kind of damage someone like me can do to you. You can try that all you want, but see, the thing is, I'm not fucking afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you fuckers. I am so sick and fucking tired of watching these little fucking retards screaming about fascism while they're trying to censor people on the fucking internet for calling them out. Well, here's the thing. The war has only just begun, my friends. And if you think you're going to win by trying to silence me, good fucking luck with that, mate. I know what I'm doing, and I'm always going to come back. It doesn't matter if this whole channel gets terminated. I'll come back stronger and better. You can't win. You will never win. None of you girls that spend your time... No, you're not winning this little war. You decided to start this shit when you started doxing people and trying to threaten people I know for calling you out. You decided to start this little conflict, and I'm going to fucking end it. All of you are going to get a single shred of mercy from me.
Bit of a longer clip I played, but I couldn't find a decent place to stop before the next clip I play, but I find it hysterical that Hunter chose these clips for this part of the video. I say clips because you could hear where he cuts the audio up. It jumps in places, and it sounds horrible. Which, Hunter, if you're going to steal from other people, can you at least make it fucking sound decent? This whole section is just... It sounds so pathetic in this context. I don't have the context of the original video because I can't find it, so the only context I have is Hunter making a call-out video on Dreamer and I. So the only thing I can conclude from this clip is that Hunter is trying to sound intimidating, like he's some big bad boogeyman that's going to take us down and haunt our dreams, and that we should be so scared of him and what he can do. It is fucking laughable. Like, I'm not scared of someone who can only use stolen audio clips to make call-out videos that can't even string together a decent argument when fighting with people in the comments section. I'm not scared of someone who has to actively filter comments and delete them on his videos to remove any detraction against himself, Brian, or Bailey to make it seem like we don't have any arguments or can't say anything because, and I'm using heavy quotations here, they're right, we can't argue back because we don't have any good arguments to fight against their thought out and researched points. Oh, it was so hard to keep a straight face while saying that. And I know what they're going to say, but you guys filter comments as well. Which, no we don't. And we never have. You idiots just spam so much you can't string together a sentence to save your life that YouTube automatically flags it as spam. We have to go into the help for review section and approve comments. We've actually had to put off checking our spam frequently because of you guys. Most of what ends up in the spam folder is comments from all of you. It's a bit fucking ridiculous, actually. Okay, now we get to the first of the clips that were taken from the Pedo on the Run video. Let's play the clip from Hunter's video and then play Cass's video with the full context.
Not only that, nothing you do will stop me. You stored CP on your fucking computer. And even worse, you were trying to train them into becoming just tools. Toys is the exact fucking moment. At that point, your rights are null and void. Fuck you. Anyway, excuse me for the tangents. Let's get back to the article at hand.
Man, Hunter really chopped up the original clip. And now knowing the original context of the clip Hunter stole, and the fact that he used that video in particular to make this one, makes me feel a type of way, but we'll get to that. For now, let's play the full clip, shall we? It's a bit long, but bear with me. I want you to get the full scope of what the original video was talking about and what Hunter thought was appropriate to take from to make a fucking call-out video on Dreamer Studios.
He was also ordered to sign on to the Sex Offenders Register for life. Trinaman was caught in 2011, and within days of leaving HMP Littlehay, he failed to register with police. Scotland Yard said he was high risk, and revealed the Sexual Harm Prevention Order restricted his internet use and his contact with girls under 18. Trinaman tried to overturn his conviction, arguing that the prosecution defied his rights to freedom of expression under Article 10 of the Human Rights Convention. Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Oh, for fuck's sakes, go and fuck yourself, you disgusting sack of shit. You have no fucking rights to sit here and preach about my human rights when you had no problem violating the human rights of little girls. You were the one catfishing them to get nudes out of them. You stored CP on your fucking computer. And even worse, you were grooming these little girls too. You were trying to train them into becoming just tools, sex toys for you to use and discard at your leisure. So fuck off. It gets really frustrating dealing with these pedophiles half the time, especially with the show that I've had for at least around mid to late summer. And it's always something with these pedophiles. They always love hiding behind freedom of expression and whatnot in order to justify their actions, despite the fact that they were blatantly, in this particular case, especially in Trinaman's case, violating children's rights. So fuck them. Jesus Christ, what a delusional sack of shit. Christopher, you don't deserve rights. You absolutely forfeited them as soon as you decided to try to touch a child. As soon as you extracted sexual pictures from kids to store them in your disgusting computer. As soon as you started grooming these kids and trying to turn them into your fucking sex toys is the exact fucking moment. At that point, your rights are null and void. Fuck you. Anyway, excuse me for the tangents. Let's get back to the article at hand.
So Hunter thought it was appropriate to clip together bits from this section of the original video that was talking about a grown man grooming two girls and storing child pornography on his computer, and how disgusting it is that this grown man had the absolute nerve to preach about his human rights to use in his shitty call-out video. I am so beyond disgusted. Out of every other video you could have stolen from to clip together and make your video, out of every other option you had to make your own video, you specifically chose a video talking about a child molester. You even kept the part where Cass says you stored CP on your fucking computer. In your own goddamn video. You knew what that meant. You knew what Cass was talking about, and you used that to try and also paint Seraph, who at the time wasn't even a legal adult yet, as a child predator. What I think Hunter was trying to do is make it seem like Trinaman and Seraph were the same person. So if people ever found Hunter's video and heard the name mentioned while seeing Dreamer's channel scrolling in the background, they would somehow be able to find the information about Trinaman and think that Hunter somehow knew that Trinaman and Dreamer Studios were in fact the same person. Which, no, they're fucking not. I have seen Seraph in video calls. I have spoken to him on countless occasions. I have even spoken to his goddamn parents. Trinaman and Seraph are not the same person. They're not fucking related to each other at all. The only thing they have in common is they're from the UK. That's it. But maybe I'm giving Hunter too much credit. I mean, based on the way he talks and thinks, I don't necessarily believe he's smart enough to think of something that complex. Ah, yes, I'm going to use this video talking about a British pedophile to expose this other British man, and then everyone will think that Trinaman and Dreamer Studios are one and the same, and his life will be ruined. Mwahahaha. Yeah, no, Hunter's not smart enough for that. I'm pretty sure we've established that Hunter is pretty fucking stupid. Okay, the next part of Hunter's video is also from the Trinaman video, so let's watch that, and then play the original clip, shall we?
What an interesting view of yourself. I think there's a way you can improve that bio, though. How about you call yourself that ran all the way to an entirely new country just to avoid the law, and definitely deserves what it feels like to be thrown into a trap laced with shit. Now, you may be asking, what exactly is his activity on Twitter like? You would know that most of them aren't very smart people in general, and tend to be very good at exposing themselves to the world, more often than not. For Trinaman's case, though, that doesn't seem to be the case at all. He's very much a meticulous and dangerous man.
This section of Hunter's video is actually two different parts of the Trinaman video. He took a small part near the start of the video to put in here. It's the, in Trinaman's case, that doesn't seem to be the case at all. He's very much a meticulous and dangerous man part. Well, I guess technically it's closer to the middle, but it's at like 9:26 or so in the original video. I won't play it, but I find it hilarious that Hunter clipped that part to make it sound like Dreamer Studios is super evil and dangerous. Like, yes, the British man who made rant videos about shitty OCs is so evil and dangerous. Bitch, I'm more dangerous than him. I'm the one who went and found Bailey's home address because I wanted to see if I could. To be fair, she made it stupidly easy to find her info, but that's not the point. The rest of this clip and more to come is from closer to the end, where Cass goes and looks through Trinaman's Twitter account and shares some of the posts he's made on screen. The account has since been deleted, thank fuck, but it did exist for a while. Now let's start making our way through the original clip.
Strangely enough, though, that doesn't mean that Trinaman is without reach or ability to contact. Apparently, Trinaman has a huge thing on being on Twitter, and is there quite consistently, so let's give that a look. Christopher Trinaman, at Team Trinaman, the first Briton since witchcraft trials to be jailed on an accusation of criminal speech without any supporting evidence. What an interesting view of yourself. I think there's a way you can improve that bio, though. How about you call yourself a disgusting little child molester that ran all the way to an entirely new country just to avoid the law, and definitely deserves what it feels like to be thrown into a Vietnam-era style trap laced with shit.
Real classy using the clips of Cass going through Trinaman's Twitter account to make it sound like Seraph was on Twitter defending child molesters. Granted, Hunter did cut out the part where Cass says, disgusting little child molester, but it doesn't matter because Hunter kept in a part that makes it sound like Seraph is defending pedophiles on Twitter. This is insanity. I'm actually going to fucking crash out. On the bright, but not bright, just kind of funny side, now knowing that Hunter's whole last video was stolen from another content creator, one who got fucking called out for being a freak no less, makes Michelle's video 1,000 times funnier. Like, how the fuck are you going to sit there and say that Brian, Hunter, and the rest of Bailey's crew are good people when 2 out of the 4 of them have stolen content from other people to make their videos? And I'm pretty fucking sure Brian and Jenkins have stolen their audio and their videos too. I just don't have proof of it. Yet. Anyways, back to Hunter's stolen video.
And does he even actually mention the things he said and done? Yes, in a way, he kind of has, because people have called him out plenty of times in the past and would even talk about the things he said and done, forcing him to acknowledge it, even though he tries to lie and weasel his way out of it. He also tends to get into a lot of spats about the topic of pedophilia, and he likes to use every single disingenuous tactic and card up his sleeve whenever you have a conversation with him. Plenty of people will argue with him constantly only for him to continue to play the victim card about himself and pedophiles in general over and over and over again, claiming that when people come after him, that they are punishing him for a evil speech crime. So thank you, Mr. Fun and Review, because without you, I wouldn't even known Trinaman existed to begin with.
See? If you go into Hunter's video without any knowledge about who Dreamer is or who Trinaman is, you would probably fucking assume that they're the same person, and that Dreamer is a pedophile because Hunter is too fucking stupid to make his own video using his own words. He doesn't have any real arguments against Dreamer Studios, so he has to steal from other people in a really sad, pathetic attempt to make himself sound morally superior to us. This is getting pretty long, but we are getting to the end. Probably going to skip a few bits here and there so this doesn't drag out too long, but you can watch both Hunter's video and Cass's video in full. Again, I will have links in the description for you, as I'm sure I've said a few times by now.
Now you may be asking, what exactly is his activity on Twitter like? And does he even actually mention the things he said and done? Yes, in a way, he kind of has, because people have called him out plenty of times in the past and would even talk about the things he said and done, forcing him to acknowledge it, even though he tries to lie and weasel his way out of it. He also tends to get into a lot of spats about the topic of pedophilia, and he likes to use every single disingenuous tactic and card up his sleeve whenever you have a conversation with him. Plenty of people will argue with him constantly only for him to continue to play the victim card about himself and pedophiles in general over and over and over again, claiming that when people come after him, that they are punishing him for a evil speech crime or criminal speech. Not only that, but he fairly is consistent with his interactions with the rest of the so-called map community. Now, if you may be asking, what the fuck are maps, Kaz? It sounds like you're bitching about a community of people who like literal fucking maps to know where they are. No. We're talking about maps as in minor attractive persons. An entire community of pedophiles who try to rebrand what it means to be a pedophile in order to push their disgusting agenda. Trust me, I'll talk about that pretty soon. I have a video in the works discussing that particular disgusting bit of internet lore, we're just going to say. So expect something like that on a later date. And speaking of all this crazy stuff and mentions and what have you, I would like to give a shout out to Fun and Review, since he brought this particular story to my attention. He brought me the article and discussed about Mr. Trinaman's past. Thanks to Fun and Review, I figured out who Trinaman is, and decided, you know what, making a video about him is important just as much as anyone else I'm talking about. So thank you, Mr. Fun and Review, because without you, I wouldn't even known Trinaman existed to begin with.
The more clips I play, the more baffled I become at the absolute stupidity of Hunter in the video he made. Like, at this point, I'm convinced Hunter is some idiot kid in his mom's basement watching Cocomelon and playing Roblox. There is no way in hell this dude is a functioning adult. Because how insanely stupid do you have to be to steal from someone else and present it as your own video, and lie about it when people get suspicious about the video you made? Like, what did you think was going to happen, my dude? That you would just never get caught? Yeah, you got away with it for a few years, but we found you out eventually. What, were you just going to pretend that you are CasWarFoxs, and this was totally okay for you to use that video because it was yours to begin with? Cause that is also a stupid-ass plan. And if that is something you try and say, prove it then. Log back into the CasWarFoxs account and make a community post saying I am PirateFoxHunter on YouTube. I think that's a pretty reasonable request to make after all the stupid bullshit you pulled. Alright, moving on to the last clip, and then I'm done going over this video.
And although I spent a month being very inactive on YouTube, rest assured that it didn't mean that I was ignoring your request, merely that I was busy, but I'm trying my best to keep up with real life and internet stuff as balanced as possible. And giving you a shout out would be the least I can do to repay you for the fact that you brought me this particular interesting story to talk about. Now it's time for my last and final words about this particular topic before ending the video for good. As I've said from the very beginning of this video, this whole situation is a clusterfuck of epic proportions. Like an onion, it has a multitude of different layers of just rotting shit, blood, and pus. None of which is stopping or getting any better anytime soon. And although people tried their best to take this man down and give him the punishment that he deserves for what he's said and done to kids, all of it in a strange way didn't even matter in the end, because he managed to move to an entirely different country, in this case Vietnam, and he can do whatever he wants now, and there's nothing that the UK police or the people in the UK can do anything about it. In short, he got away with some serious crimes, and nothing's probably going to happen as a result. One victim is traumatized for life, and the other is dead. She killed herself. Everyone and their mother tried to corner him, but he just moved to another nation just to avoid the consequences of his actions. And the police don't seem to care. They seem to treat it as, well, if he's over there, then they don't need to care about him anymore. They treat it as if it's okay for him to move to an entirely different country, knowing full well as to why he's doing it. After all, apparently, people who make jokes and, God forbid, edgy opinions on the internet are far more dangerous than a spazzy child molester who had an opportunity to ruin girls' life. Although he probably is likely very possibly, at least in some way, responsible for the suicide of one of them, so. But apparently those edgy need to be shut down in some way, right?
Seriously? Thank fucking God the only people who found this video were people who were already well aware of who Dreamer Studios was and who Bailey was, because if you were just some rando that came into this video with zero context and a lack of critical thinking skills, you would come to the conclusion that Dreamer Studios is a child predator and is currently harassing another child, and caused one of his victims to end their own life. Thankfully, because of how many videos Seraph made on Bailey, most people would find those videos, read the comments, and realize that Hunter is full of shit. But not everyone is willing to put in that much effort into discovering what is true and what is false. A lot of people will just hear the words child predator and be on that like a fly to shit. And accusations like that ruin people's lives and actively puts people in danger if those claims aren't true. There are people who actively hunt down and kill pedophiles. This isn't a fucking game. These words have consequences to them. And let's not forget that you took clips discussing the absolute fucking tragedy of a child taking her life and another one having to live with permanent trauma to make a shitty ass call out video on a, at the time, 17-year-old boy to defend a shitty ass woman who gets off on telling people to kill themselves. Have you no fucking shame? What kind of sick fuck hears about a tragedy like this and thinks to themselves, yes, I could use this in my video to call out someone I don't like? Disgusting. You are disgusting.
And although I spent a month being very inactive on YouTube, rest assured that it didn't mean that I was ignoring your request, merely that I was busy, but I'm trying my best to keep up with real life and internet stuff as balanced as possible. And giving you a shout out would be the least I can do to repay you for the fact that you brought me this particular interesting story to talk about. If you want to see fun and reviews all in video about the topic, then by all means, I'll definitely post his link in the description of the video down below. Now it's time for my last and final words about this particular topic before ending the video for good. As I've said from the very beginning of this video, this whole situation is a clusterfuck of epic proportions. Like an onion, it has a multitude of different layers of just rotting shit, blood, and pus, none of which is stopping or getting any better anytime soon. And although people tried their best to take this man down and give him the punishment that he deserves for what he's said and done to kids, all of it in a strange way didn't even matter in the end, because he managed to move to an entirely different country, in this case Vietnam, and he can do whatever he wants now, and there's nothing that the UK police or the people in the UK can do anything about it. In short, he got away with some serious crimes, and nothing's probably going to happen as a result. One victim is traumatized for life, and the other is dead. She killed herself. Everyone and their mother tried to corner him, but he just moved to another nation just to avoid the consequences of his actions. And the police don't seem to care. They seem to treat it as, well, if he's over there, then they don't need to care about him anymore. They treat it as if it's okay for him to move to an entirely different country, knowing full well as to why he's doing it. After all, apparently, people who make Nazi pug jokes and, God forbid, edgy opinions on the internet are far more dangerous than a spazzy child molester who had an opportunity to ruin 2 girls for life. Although he probably is likely very possibly, at least in some way, responsible for the suicide of one of them, so. But apparently those edgy Nazi pugs need to be shut down in some way, right?
So there it is, folks, laid out for you in black and white. Solid 100% proof that Hunter stole his audio from another creator to make his own shitty call-out videos, despite him insisting that he never stole audio from anyone else. I didn't really need to show so many clips to prove that, but I really wanted to hammer the point home because of how much Brian and Hunter insisted nothing from Hunter's video was stolen. And don't try and say you never said you never stole the audio. We still have your email in a video, bro. The very first line of the email you spammed Dreamer with reads, "As I said, I'm not the one who stole someone else's audio." Link to that video will also be in the description, but lied straight to our faces and hoped we would never find out. Joke's on you, though. You weren't slick enough to get this past us forever. I wonder how Hunter and Brian are going to try and defend this. Should be very interesting. But on the topic of that email Hunter sent all those years ago, he did link a video as proof that he was the same person talking in the video. I don't have that video saved and it's long gone since Hunter's channel got nuked, but I do remember it, and at the time it seemed like decently solid evidence that Hunter did indeed record the video we just went over. which only proceeded to make us more pissed off because of all the pedophile accusations throughout the video. Because if you did take the time to record this with your own voice and didn't take the audio from anywhere, then where the fuck did you get the idea that Seraph was a pedophile who fled countries to avoid the police? That is a wild-ass conclusion to come to with zero proof. We were still skeptical that Hunter was telling the truth. After all, him, Brian Jenkins, and Timothy Gamer had proven themselves to be stupid beyond all belief. But with no further evidence that Hunter stole anything, we had to let the topic drop and went back to just arguing with them about Bailey and their moronic defense of her. But that brings us back to, he lied. He did steal the audio, which begs the question of how did he record the audio in his proof video? That video didn't sound clipped together in any way, and I doubt there was any moment in time where CasWarFoxs said the words Dreamer Studios in his videos. So the way I see it, there are a few possible options. Option 1. He is using AI to sound like CasWarFoxs, which isn't completely out of the question. People have been making covers of songs with their favorite characters or people, singing the song using voice filters and AI long before this big boom in AI. So it's not out of the question that Hunter is using AI and voice filters so he doesn't have to use his real voice. Option 2. He just so happens to be friends with CasWarFoxs and got him to record that video for Hunter to use as proof. Which, if that's the case, being friends with that freak show is a wild choice and leads me to have some questions about your morality, among other things. Option 3. He just so happens to sound exactly like Cass. Which I don't think is super possible. This dude just so happens to sound like this content creator and he just so happened to know about this creator's channel. Unlikely. Not impossible, but unlikely. Option 4. Hunter and Cass are the same person. I think this is the least likely of the options. Cass may be a disgusting person who deserves the wood chipper, but do I really believe he's stupid enough to go incognito on the internet just to start internet beef with a teenager and use his own videos he made years ago to start that beef? Risking the chance of people like LioConvoys discovering he's back on the internet? I seriously fucking doubt it. It would be fucking hilarious though. And super sad, cause bro, what the fuck are you doing? But personally, I believe it's the first option. He's using voice filters and AI to sound like CasWarFoxs in an attempt to keep his identity a secret. Which, if you want to keep your identity a secret so fucking bad, then use Google Translate to read off your scripts. It's not that hard, dude. Okay, that's it for this video. I'm done. I just wanted to gloat and yell a little bit, cause I'm petty like that. Your move, Hunter! Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed gloating with me, cause I sure enjoyed gloating. I am very pleased. Minakawa should be back after this, but this was my time to yell about the dumb bullshit. I get the spotlight when it comes to Bailey and the goons. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you are new, and if you want to see more of me, Yuji, then check out my main channel, Rainbow Splash Studios, where I talk about stories, art, characters, and a bunch more. But if none of that is your cup of tea, and you like gameplay videos, then you should check out my brand new gaming channel, where I play games as my fursona. Fishsona? Dipsy Olm, the anglerfish Olm hybrid. Now off I go to read bad Omegaverse stories so I can yell about them in videos.